Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. This video is probably going to be the most valuable video for you that I have ever made when it comes to understanding narcissist abuse and understanding the number one most important thing on why you're here in the first place on the planet. Why are you here? Why are you going through? There's actually a higher purpose, and it's a really good purpose, okay? But you've heard it before, and I could say it right now, and it'll go right over your head. It's this whole narcissist experience. When you start to snap out of it, you begin to realize why this one thing is so absolutely necessary, valuable, and important, okay? If you listen to one video, listen to this one. I'll do my best to go as fast as I can, but and I'm probably going to make another video down the road, okay? So let me jump into it. So here's what we're going to talk about. 3 things. We're going to talk about imprinting real quick. And then we're going to talk about why a narcissist is doing what they're doing. Why are they imprinting on you? Why are they then devaluing you and trying to destroy you? Okay, that's very important to understand. Okay, it's called, they're trying to individuate is what it's called. So imprinting, individuate. And the third thing we're going to talk about is self-love. But I'm going to explain it in a way that you will understand for the first time in your life, and then you'll be like, oh, that's what people mean. So there's a lot of things that people say to us. So, oh, you got to love yourself. You got to self-love. And they just throw these phrases around. You're like, what does that mean? And, you know, I've been doing it for many, many years, and I just understood another level of it, okay? So watch this. So, all right. So here's what's going on. So narcissists are stuck in the imprinting stage, okay? So they are stuck in the reptilian brain. Now, this is the brain when we're first born, we use. We develop this part of our brain first. Because it's the same thing that a turtle will do, or well, maybe not a turtle, but like a lizard, or like, maybe actually that's not a good example. But like a duck, okay? This is actually what we learned in psychology class. So any animal that requires learning how to survive in the world, because your reptilian brain, which is the imprinting brain, is the brain for fight or flight. It's the survival brain. It's also the mating system brain to reproduce, okay, to keep the species alive. 2 very important things: stay alive and reproduce. So how to hunt, how to kill, how to fight, how to stay alive. What do I do? So when we're first born, just like a duck, we literally imprint on our parents. So what do I mean when I say imprint? We just copy them. It's like a video camera. It's like an audio camera. Not audio camera, but an audio machine, like a recorder, just recording what they're doing, what they're saying. And we copy their phrases, their smiles, their facial expressions, and everything they do, okay? So there's no thinking going along in the stage. So this is why when you meet a narcissist, something is just off. And you don't know what it is. Something's weird about them. It's like they're a robot, and like they're just copying you. And after a while, they begin to feed it back to you, and they become you. And you're like, whoa, this is kind of weird. Not in the love bombing phase, but once you go past that phase, you start to see, well, this is kind of creepy, okay? So let me get back to the notes, okay? I've got some notes here. I don't normally have notes. All right, so there's something, let's see. Let me look at my notes here. I want to start first. Okay. All right, I'm just going to start from the top. So here's the deal. So a narcissist, basically something got screwed up in their brain, okay? Either it was from, maybe they got scared, maybe they were abused, maybe they were just born this way, but okay, so our natural process is to, number one, imprint from when you're first born to about 6.5, 7 years old. Then from 7 years to 14 years old, you take on your social values. And then, I don't know why I keep forgetting this, but then after there's a third stage, and I am drawing a blank on it, but that doesn't matter because it's not part of this video. So basically, here's what we're doing. We're developing, or no, you know what? I think I got that backwards, actually. So not backwards, but the second one. So what we're doing is we're first developing the reptilian brain, okay? That is the imprinting brain. The second phase is we develop our logical linear brain. That's learning math and science and, you know, stuff like that, okay? We're learning. The next phase is our social brain. That's the right brain. So that's the part that I think I got mixed up. I'm gonna have to look this up again. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. So the right brain is the social brain. Okay, this is also it's called the internal brain, meaning you are connected to yourself. This is yourself. This is who you are, your body. You're connected to your body, to your emotions, your feelings, your values. A narcissist never does this. They don't develop this part of their brain. They avoid it. This is why socially, narcissists are awkward. Like one of the things, now they get really good at copying, and they'll watch you. Okay, how did you interact when that person laughed or when that person said a joke? And they'll watch, and they're literally like a lizard. I'm not joking. Literally like a lizard, just interacting and watching. And what are they? It's an external view outside of their body. They don't react from their own feelings. They don't react from their own beliefs. They don't react from their own values, from who they are. Instead, what they do is they watch the people around. Now, here's something that happened. I'll give you an example. So I had a girlfriend in my 20s, and she turned out to be a narcissist. Now, at the time, I didn't know it. I just know it was a very abusive relationship, and I finally got out of it. But as I learned about narcissists, like, oh my God, she does do that. So it was really obvious. So here's one of the things. We were at a comedy show in Sacramento, and the comedian was really a really good comedian. I forget who it was. I think it was actually, believe it or not, I think it was Carlos Mencina. So regardless of who it was, is we were laughing the crowd, everybody was laughing. And I remember she had like this fake smile, and she looked at me and I go, what's the matter, babe? And she's like, oh, nothing. Was that funny? I was like, yeah, that's what she said. Oh, and she started laughing. I thought, well, that's weird. Like, why would she ask me if that was funny? And so, but she did it with every joke. And then I realized she does that all the time. And I asked her, like, why do you do that? She goes, oh, what do you mean? So here's what a narcissist will do. They will look to the crowd or the person they're with, and if they laugh, then they'll laugh, because they can't. Okay, comedy is an abstract thing. The right brain is the bigger picture abstract brain. So the right brain is really good at processing abstract stuff. A narcissist cannot do that. That's why they don't get sarcasm at all. A narcissist's reptilian/left brain, they take things very literal. Even when you use a funny, like comedy voice, and you talk like this, right? All right, so what I noticed about my girlfriend at the time was she would wait for the crowd to laugh, then she would laugh, and I just thought that was kind of odd. But that's the thing, is they don't develop their right brain. And the right brain is the social brain. It's the abstract brain. It's where you take a lot of information and you put it together in your own way, and you have your own self-thoughts. Okay, so let's move on from there. All right, so number one, they have to individuate, and I'll explain what that is. So let me go back. Okay, now let me skip there and I'll go back to individuate. So here's what happens is, basically, okay, when you first meet a narcissist, they're going to love bomb you, and there's something they're doing that is very, very vicious. It is fucking cruel, even if they don't mean it. I don't think they're on that level of, oh, this is a cruel thing to do. It's more like this is something they need to do to to survive. Okay. So I'm going to just read this off, then I'll break it down. So basically what they do in the love bombing phase is they become you, thus a perfect mirror, because your ultimate perfect partner is you. Deep down inside, you want someone who is you to love you, because that is what we truly love. Okay? So here's what I mean by that. Now, we hear this phrase, and by the way, this is a narcissist phrase. Let me find it here. Okay, opposites attract. Okay, so opposites attract is a narcissist tactic / saying to suck you in and keep you in and destroy you and suck the life out of you and torment you. All the while, your neighbors and friends remind you to work it out, because opposites attract. All the while laughing at you, because they are narcissists too. There are a lot. Okay, there's a reason why people who are in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s stop dating, or they get divorced and they're like, I'll never get into a relationship again. Because you have been brainwashed. It is so part of our culture and cultures to believe these fucked up things like opposites attract. I'm telling you right now. Opposites do not attract. They repel. We can't stand people who have radically different values than us. We can't stand people who have radically different beliefs than we do. It drives us nuts. This is why you are accepting of people when your alarm bells are being like, wow, they have this really fucked up belief. That's messed up. Oh, but your girlfriend says opposites attract, and so does the pastor, and so does maybe your someone in your family. Worst advice you could ever take. Worst advice. Now watch this. I'm going to prove this more so than any of that stuff. So let's see. If you let someone hurt you, you are telling yourself that you are not of value, that you are not worthy. So let's say somebody hurts you. Someone is mean to you, like a narcissist. They cut you down. They devalue you. They hurt you. This is so important because one of the number one tools that I use to teach and work with my clients is self-love. I teach, and a lot of people are like, oh, okay, whatever, Mike. And you know what? I was the same way because I didn't get it. I didn't get it until I was so broken and hurt by someone that I had to do it. I laid down in bed. I cried and cried. It's like you hold yourself. Now, I didn't do it once. I had to do it every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day for years, for over a decade at least. And one day it starts to work and it starts to heal that being inside. And that's what all of this is about, okay? I'm going to get back to that in a second. Let me just read through this. So, let me go back. All right, here we go. So here's what they do. A narcissist will love bomb you in the beginning. And during this love bombing, they do what you all know. They mirror you. In other words, they literally copy you. They imprint on you. They become you. So mirroring and imprinting is the same thing. It's exactly what a baby duck does when it's first hatched out of its egg. It looks up at its mom and it just starts to copy and imprint whatever the mom does. If it quacks, it'll quack. If it wiggles, it wiggles. If it runs, it runs. It does whatever. That's why if you watch ducks, the minute you move, they move exactly where you move and they stop when you stop. When you go, they go. Stop. That's imprinting. All right? So here's the deal. This is what happens. This is a psychological nightmare. Okay? This is why it hurts so bad when a narcissist eventually devalues you and cuts you off. It's because, okay, I'm going to read again. So basically what they do in the love bombing phase is they become you. Thus, a perfect mirror. And now here's what they're doing is they are becoming you. And this, now I made a video about this a long time ago, but this is why it is so psychologically, and I really should say emotionally damaging. They are literally becoming you. They feed back your beliefs. They feed back your values. They become you. So on an unconscious and also it really is your emotional level. Unconscious means your emotional system. On an unconscious level, you are looking at you. On an unconscious level, okay, here's a good way to explain it. Okay, during NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, when we learned that, we learned something called matching and mirroring, okay? So mirroring is like, when you look in a mirror and you hold up your right hand, well, on the same side of the mirror will be the same hand. But matching would be as if you raise your right hand, well, then the other hand on the opposite side that would come up, all right? That's called matching. Now, one thing we learned is that when you match someone, when you're speaking, their unconscious mind knows that you're speaking, okay? And they taught us in sales, this is the appropriate way to do it because it's not ethical to mirror someone while you're doing sales because they're going to think it's their mind that's saying all this stuff. Oh, it's a great car. Oh, you should do it. And here's why and all these reasons. But when you mirror them, their unconscious mind thinks they're the one that's talking, even though they're not. So this is why when narcissists mirror you, this is why it eventually hurts so bad when they devalue you. It's because they mirror you and they say stuff to you and they're saying your values, I'm telling you right now, when people repeat your words and your values back to you, your unconscious mind suddenly opens up. And that's what matching and mirroring is for, is to gain rapport, right? With your unconscious mind. So what ends up happening is your heart opens wide open and you're just receiving all this stuff and you're like, oh my God, this is a great person. This person is wonderful. Now, what is happening on an unconscious level, I'm going to say it again, is your emotional system believes that this is you that's talking when it's not. So then what happens is they shift into the devaluing stage where they rip your heart and rip your soul out. They belittle you. They devalue your beliefs. Now watch this, okay? So they copy your rules, values, beliefs, and decisions that you've made in your life, and your strategies, and also things that unconscious strategies that you develop to make yourself happy, to get yourself in a creative mode, etc., etc. So they mirror all this stuff, and then what they do is they go in and they devalue. And all of a sudden, they're laughing. They're belittling beliefs that you have. They're belittling your values. They're belittling, oh, you believe in God? Oh, you go to church? Oh, you went to this college? Oh, you play guitar? They start doing these little things, and what's happening is, now watch this. Here it is. You believe on an unconscious level. It's like, you got to remember, your unconscious mind is like another person. It's another being. And all of a sudden, and this is who you are. That's yourself, your emotional system. So all of a sudden, it's like you are attacking you. You are suddenly saying, oh, those are dumb beliefs. Oh, those are dumb values. Oh, that rule isn't a good rule. And all of a sudden, it's like you're cutting you down. It's like you're looking down on you. You are telling you that you're unworthy. Now, you're not doing that, and your unconscious mind is not doing that. The narcissist, by mirroring you, when they shift into the devaluing phase, this is what happens to your emotional system, and this is why you get damaged so bad, because you start to believe that you're bad and your values are wrong, and everything about you, the way you were raised, the things that you liked, going to the beach, whatever it is that going to clubs, like I know a kid who was really good at artwork, and they were devaluing her artwork. And all of a sudden, she stopped doing. She was really, really, so good. She could have been a professional artist that could have made a lot of money, but they devalued her. And she goes, well, I don't like to do it anymore. I go, what do you mean you don't like? I go, what? And I knew what happened, and she knew what. Well, this is another story I don't want to go into. So this is why you feel like you got your heart, your soul sucked out of you and ripped out and torn up into shreds. It's because when they mirror you, your unconscious mind, your emotional system believes that it's you that is tearing you down, but it's not.